Hello, everyone. This is the, I guess, first official, legitimate episode of Shiny Man, as we call it.
Uh,
No, just joking. This shiny cardboard, but yes, this is the
Ian
legitimate
here,
first
Crown
episode
Zenith,
here.
and we're gonna pull
And
right here.
as the
Clear.
title suggests, we'll be talking about Crown Zenith's
No,
release,
we're not.
and then some of the topics that
No,
I
then
have
we're
on
gonna
the
go to
screen
that,
here.
clear that, and then go to purple.
Okay. Hey, hold on, let me turn down that. 'Cause I thought it was gonna be okay, but it's not.
Well, it looks like we got a lot of topics to go on about. We've got we just got
I got
Zenith,
beads.
Crown Zenith
So
compared
sorry.
to V-Star Universe, their prices, Scarlet Violet's release, and
It's okay.
the
We're going against Aries.
huge shocker of Miriam's price at the
I am
moment.
so sorry.
Then we just have our Scarlet
I
Violet
don't have
English
Shell. I don't have
topics of
anything.
a price increase and
Yeah,
ETB
we're actually gonna
promo.
play a little safe.
Then the two new products, the Clara and Cyrus smoke boxes. The supposedly teased, well, back then, well, not too long ago, little teased 151 set, but confirmed by Yuri Geller, and then just product in general.
Yes, that's correct. So this is 10 days after the recording. Well, sorry, 10 days after the release of Crown Zenith here in the States and the worldwide. And so I actually forgot to pull up probably the most important website of all.
Good old TCG player.
Yes. So I mean, here we kind of are looking at our top prices of everything. You know, it's been
Why did Luke mute
a
himself?
little bit more than a week, and I mean,
Stop.
I guess just to talk about some of these in general, I can't say I expected her to be the very top. I really thought I was going to be this Pikachu, but I guess it's just super common to pull. Have yet to pull it, but it started around 40 and then it made its way down
Oh.
towards 30 here. While Lisa has actually been going up. She started around 30 and all she's been doing is going up. Hisui's been going up. Sinnoh was going up and then it went down, and then everything else I haven't really kept track of. We do see some of the fan favorite Pokemon like Charizard. Nothing new there. And then the energies that are out textured, so that's pretty cool. Rotom, I'm not sure. I assume it's competitively viable. Professor's research is always there. And then here we have Zamazenta. This specific Zamazenta is actually really good. And I mean, the rest of the cards, as you can see, they're all very, very low.
You're gonna get through
So it's kind of expected. All we have to buy in terms of product is the ETB
Oh my
and the Reggie
god.
boxes, and then in the month of February till May,
Okay.
we'll get more as well. But I mean, I'm not really here to talk about this stuff because I mean, although Elisa's, 40, that's a lot better than her 120 Japanese price. This is where we have some of the the big guys kind of take their step in the ring here. So Giratina, surprisingly, is at 170. All it's been doing is going up. Same with Mewtwo, it's been going up. Arceus been going up, and I think these guys have been in
Like
a
they've like
medium.
just plateaued.
No.
Never mind, I was gonna say plateaued. No, they've been going down.
So they've been going down slowly. And keep in mind, we're only 10 days out. Prices are sure to change. Ideally, there's always that weird chance that they don't, but that's
Oh
just
my
how it is.
god.
Um, it's kind of like in the first episode, I kind of did call the Mewtwo compared to Japanese, but I think there's a little bit more favoritism towards Mewtwo in the West, so that might explain the price hike compared to the Japanese card.
Oh yeah. Just seeing it. Nothing. Nothing out of like expectations. Like we'll be like we said before, we'll be getting product all the way up till May. So hey, product may not be a little bit available right now, but we're about to enter February. More product will be coming out, and most likely printed out in the masses, and just a lot. So hopefully prices do change. The Giratina Mewtwo, I kind of feel like
You dead?
maybe they'll drop by a little bit, but
Okay.
either they barely drop or they just keep going up, and hopefully that's not the case because this would be those two would well, especially Giratina would be really nice cards to have alongside the rest of the origin group.
Very much so. He's very correct on that. And just on a comparison's sake, I believe that the Japanese cards are actually cheaper than these if you were to buy them all together. You can find Palkia around 50, same with Dialga around 50. like lower 60 if anything.
Oh my.
Arceus here is 110 in English. In Japanese, it's around there, 100, 110. And then Giratina, you can usually find it for like 120-ish in Japanese compared to the 170 price, which is a little bit shocking because I was kind of expecting these cards to. I mean, obviously, I knew they were going to be expensive due to the artwork and whatnot, but nonetheless, it looks like English has prevailed in their pricing. I don't know. It's not really what I wanted, honestly, but I kind of figured that it might be the case, and it's good to be wrong. So, besides the big hitters here, there's just a lot of like medium-sized hitters, and although like 30 isn't bad for that single card, which is more expensive than the Japanese version, funnily enough. You start adding all these up, you add like a couple of these up, and before you know it, you're at like $400. So like, if you're going for one card, it's not awful, but if you're going for like a master set, because all of these artworks are extremely pretty and talented, it'll definitely sneak up on you before you know it. So the Galarian Gallery is definitely pretty pricey in my honest opinion for like everything as a whole.
Where's our
But I think that is just because that is the way it decided to take its course.
You want me to go mid?
Which is unfortunate or not, I guess,
Yeah.
to however you see. But yeah, so
Oh no, yeah, pretty much is.
There's not much I can really do.
yeah, so I
Just-
mean, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say.
It's gonna fucking get ganked every
Oh,
time.
it's kind of funny because like how we moved the like to we were just for us on our personal like thoughts. We were like, we'll do English just because product will seem more available for it, but it's kind of we're getting more available product for sure, but it's just we're just seeing kind of like the same like just the high price ranges like how we saw in English or in Japanese. So we're just like, man, like it's tough, but I mean it kind of balances itself out. Like how like for me personally, I'm going for the Johto Dog Trio, and I mean yes they are cheaper in English. Well, they're both pretty cheap, English and Japanese wise. But just like I think at that point it'll just depend on how like do you want your holos to stand out? Like do you want them to be more prominent, higher card quality if you're into that, if you're into grading or along those things. But it's just kind of surprising to just see how some cards we didn't think would be expensive were expensive, and then just vice versa.
He's not gonna die.
Yeah, it's just the name of the game. Different markets, two completely different markets, geographically speaking, right? But obviously, there's probably an influx more on Japanese because I don't really think a lot of Japanese collectors are like, oh, Crown Zenith just dropped. Let's buy some. I think that would be a super rare case if anything.
Funny too.
But yeah, I mean, prices will be different. Obviously, this was like the main example that I wanted to show. Yerda at 3080, 3800. Oh, so 240 for like a nice card because they do it based on condition. So this is like probably like mint, like fresh out of that pack. So compared to Yerda in English, obviously you do lose a texturing and just the template of the card from Japanese to English. But this is a lot more affordable compared to this. So it's hit or miss. Sometimes you just kind of have to know the market and how the customer base will be between both regions, and so yeah. I mean, in general, Crown Zenith has been fun. We've only opened each one ETB, and the set itself is fun. You get to see a lot of the fun artwork, the Galarian Gallery, and even just the artwork in the main set as well. Super nice to look at and whatnot. But the pull rates, I think, have been increased simply because there's so many cards. There's 70 in the Gallery alone, plus like 8 or so rarities in this one. So I think that's pretty cool. A lot of people have been having fun with this set. I can't scroll past TikTok and then see someone opening their own box, and it's like, well, dang, they pull the Pikachu, they pull the Giratina, they pull the Arceus. The pull rate seems to have been increased within the set, probably just because of how I don't want to say inflated because I mean it kind of is with the gallery, but how inflated it is. So I can kind of respect it on that front compared to V-Star Universe, which I think was 3 art rares and then a hit, an SR hit or a SAR hit, something like that. In English, who knows? I actually don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot. It really is. It really is a lot when you just go over it. Just such a vast amount of stuff in this entire set, and I don't see like people opening like I can't see like people opening this set ever getting old. It'll be like whenever you're going through the store, like whenever going like through like Walmart, Target, or your local card shop, you'll essentially it'll be that I feel like it'll be that set that like you see it available to purchase, you most definitely always want to get it. You'll probably always want to buy it because you want to just see what you can pull and something like that. Just because vast variety of cards and like art styles and so on for this one in comparison to like you're just walking through Target and you see like a blister 3-pack, like a blister 3-pack for like Lost Origin. You're like, oh okay. I mean, there's some stuff in there, but I mean, I don't think it doesn't really feel like worth it or like fun to open it at that moment. But you see like later on in these coming months, you see the Galarian starter 3-pack blister for Crown Zenith, and you're like, oh damn, perfect. Like I'm gonna definitely want to pick that one up, and you'll just personally, I'm pretty sure you'll have more of a fun time opening that one in comparison to the others or any other ones that have been out there.
I'm going to
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, I mean, I think that kind of wraps up this segment. I could, keep going and see, like price, but obviously I don't think we want to see all that. Just some of the main key differences between V-Star Universe and Crown Zenith in terms of their single prices. And yes, and just kind of our experience opening it, but to take some time to reflect back on you guys, if you guys have opened up any Crown Zenith or V-Star Universe, please let us know how you have done, whether it's ETB, Ready Drago Box, Ready Lucky, and if you plan to buy any more or you've fulfilled yourself, you're ready to just buy singles, just let us know. We're always intrigued to see how you guys are doing on that front as well. And so I think that's a fair enough wrap to that topic there. So the next one we'll go to is the stepping stone into the new generation of Pokemon, Generation 9, Scarlet and Violet, Paldea region, stuff like that. So TCG has released in Japan the same day Crown Zenith came out in the United States, which was January 20th, but obviously the time zone is a little bit ahead, so technically for us it's January 19th. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, look at that. That's a little questionable, I'm not going to lie.
An insane high price for that card, for both of them.
Yes.
Extremely high.
If you're familiar with the video game Scarlet and Violet, you know that, or even if you don't know, Miriam is the school nurse that you can kind of talk to alongside some of the other NPCs, like the gym leader, your biology teacher, stuff like that. And I don't know, I think it's maybe just a little insane, just a tiny bit insane that we have a side character who you quite literally don't ever need to talk to, have a card that's worth, I think that's $500 or $600, 7 to 8. $560. And I mean, obviously you still gotta pay for shipping and whatnot. But this is like, the marketed price. This is the Card Rush website. This isn't eBay or like Mercari or anything like that. This is, the market price that they have it listed for over there. So that's quite literally insane. Like, once again, let me reiterate, this is a character that you don't even have to talk to in the game, right? It's completely not necessary to the story. She's just a school nurse. Like, you talk to her maybe like 8 times, even as an NPC, and then you're kind of done with her little story. And she has a Pokemon card, trading card, worth $560.
It's pretty much, it's like, I feel like I could say like, oh, I could see it just because of the art style there. So it's really pretty. I can't think of an art style, like of a perspective style of card we've had like this in a while that I can think of. I really don't think we've had one, but it's just really funny. Like how Matt had said, you can most likely play the entire game, most likely without having to talk to her once. And then like you'll just see like, oh, out of nowhere, it's just the most expensive card. It's just usually, with the usual case in Japan, they'll always tend to price cards differently depending on what like the market likes.
Not getting polysecond was.
But I mean, it's just for her, it's just like up no matter what, and the price has not been getting any lower. The price has been getting higher and higher throughout the weeks. Just by looking at it, the trend is just up, and I don't know if this card's ever going to go down anytime soon, or at all.
Yeah, it's definitely the case of the word I don't really like using. Whatever, right? It's definitely the case of she's a woman, and from Pokemon, and yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to explain besides that. This one is illustrated by Akira Kamayama, and not to take away from the artist, this artwork is very very good. People appreciate it. This card is probably worth that much because of the artwork itself, right? So there's no shame on like the actual like illustration and all. It's just the fact that this card is this high because of the woman on there. But I mean, the artwork's very nice. It's kind of got like a little comic book style type of panel layout, and then you see Miriam doing her little task. And speaking of these type of cards, Scarlet and Violet did introduce a new trainer SARs, which are different from SRs. I'm trying to get this down in my head. So this is new in a sense, replacing the Rainbow Rare that we used to have throughout both English and Japanese. Rainbow Rares are finally gone, and they have been kind of replaced with this SAR training card. But not for all the trainers. You see Katie here. She didn't get a SAR. But we do have some interesting one. We have Jack, Arvin, Penny, and then lastly, Miriam. So it's it's either way. You can see it good. I think a lot of people tend to see it in a very positive way because it's vibrantly different from a Rainbow Rare. It's not just this Miriam in a rainbow style color, but it's a legitimate like different artwork and different card where we see this. And I think while I like that, I feel like I don't know. I feel just like this could have been passed, and like maybe like this one like in a sense didn't need to exist. I can understand the idea that like most full art trainers have them just kind of like in this stock position where they're just like looking at you or they're doing something, but I feel like it could pass to where this could just be like the new full art trainer. But I don't see them going that route, and I only say that because like if you intend to master set some of these upcoming Scarlet Violet sets, like I'm sure these cards, as you can see right here, it does add a lot more like value to them, right? Usually the Rainbow Rares in other sets are lower than the regular full art, right? So let's see here, Serena, right? $40 Serena from Silver Tempest, and we go to her secret rare, and boom, she's only 17. So, I mean, it's kind of like a little bit of opposing viewpoints from my perspective in a sense, right? Like, I didn't want, like, there's people that don't want the Rainbow Rares, and obviously we got that wish. And whether you're looking on it on an economical standpoint or just on a product standpoint, now instead of being on like an economical standpoint for collecting, just like master setting stuff like that, we've now turned towards the economical portion where these cards like look vastly different and better than what would be a rainbow, and in turn they are more expensive than what the rainbow would probably ever be. So it's like, I don't want to say take a step and lose a step because then you're at the same spot, but it's like it's a trade-off. You're definitely trading off losing rainbows and getting the new SARs. But that's just my perspective. Let me know if you guys disagree or even agree with it as well. But I'd like to pass this on to Nick, see what he has to say about the new SARs compared to the SRs.
So for me, I think SARs are really pretty. I love, like how Matt had said, I love how they're no longer in a stock position anymore. I think I had mentioned it in the last one, or I think I had mentioned it to Matt in a conversation, that I want like if they're doing this, I would love for them to pictures will it'll just be like them doing things in like their daily lives. Like that would be amazing. Instead of just them in a stock position with like their hands in their front or to the side or like waving. It's perfect to just have like this, like the card to tell a story. Really pretty. It's so perfect, and I'm glad we got it. I'm really, really glad we got it. And for me, I feel like if this would be the trend for it, it's kind of like how Matt said as well. I really would feel like I would not mind getting rid of just a regular full art trainer, but it's just like sometimes people. I'm pretty sure there'll be the card one day where like, oh, it looks like this character, like looks like, say for
Byron's
example,
the one who kills
like
me. After
like
ages.
Grusha,
Fucking
like
Pokemon.
people might like they only release like a Grusha's a character from Scarlet Violet Gym Leader. Um, like they'll release an SAR for him and like and this SAR looks different and some people might not like it and then there's gonna be those people which there kind of always is. Well, they'll be like, I kind of wish you just had like a normal Grusha card, and then that's why we always will stick with the regular SR of just full art. But I personally would be 100% fine with not having it because I just
Oh
love
my god, I'm getting ulted
the
again.
potential of like telling a story in a card, and like for example,
Like, what am I
like
supposed to do, bro?
like for
I
example in this set
can't.
they have the Arvin, well
What am I
they
supposed to
have
do when
the
the fucking
mass
jungler and support are still over here while the rest of the people are
Mabostiff
trying to kill me?
card in the set that just has him under the table, just him under the table. He's chilling, he's looking up. I think Matt's about to put it up here shortly. Yes. See right there. He's right there looking up shortly. He's looking up at under the table where Arvin is cooking, making a sandwich. It does in the game. And then you get to the SAR from this set of Arvin, and guess what it is? It's literally the upper part of the portion. It's really literally the upper part of the picture. And it's Arvin at looking down, definitely not looking at the sandwich. He's looking down at what would be Mabostiff, and just making it a sandwich. Both of the cards interconnect and tell a story. It's just because you would most likely be wondering, oh, what's Arvin looking at? Oh, he's not looking at the sandwich, so I wonder what he's looking at on the left side. And you can take a little peek of his nose, take a little peek of his Mabostiff's nose right next to the basket of bread, and it just connects with the picture. It connects with the other card, and it's really pretty. There can be so many stories told with these cards. So like say for example, whenever we start introducing EV and evolutions into this set, into the Scarlet Violet sets, there's most likely, and I'm willing to call it, that there will most likely be a EV card or an evolution of some sort, like a card that will tie into
Like, what?
a penny SAR in
Oh
there.
my god, I
And you could
can't
probably
believe
say the same thing
it.
for Nemona and so on and so forth. So they're just really beautiful cards. And then same thing with the Koraidon Miraidon cards. Those are just such beautiful pieces of artwork. Some of they kind of lend a little bit like similar like color palette and art style to like the English ones, to the English Scarlet Violet ETBs exclusive to the Pokemon Center. They kind of lend that same little properties, but it's just these blow them way out of proportion. Just so beautiful. And I mean, really, it's just exactly how I feel like these. We're back to just having great artwork, which we've had for like pretty much. It's just I just feel like it's a breath of fresh air with all brand new Pokemon, and it's just the possibilities are endless when it comes to what these cards can show us.
Yeah, the illustrators, if I had all of their names memorized, oh my goodness, that'd be amazing. But, we could go down the list and name every single illustrator on, these cards, and it's just like, wow, like, just absolutely gorgeous, right? These people are putting in the time and work, and, they're getting appreciated with these prices, as you can tell. And just even on a artwork-based level, they're getting praise and praise every time. Occasionally I go on Twitter and I see one of the artists like, I worked on this, and then it's got a bunch of likes. People in the comments are like very nice job, like very, very good, like keep doing more, like, it's kind of like how I said last episode. This is a children's playing card game, funnily enough, but the artwork on it is just like something to just take a step back and just like look at it in any form, like even just something as simple as like a common card. These artworks are very nice. They've always been very nice, and it's always good to give them a nice little shout out in that form. And like, yeah, I personally believe you could put this like like take away the text, you put the base image like in a museum, and then people will look at it and like, wow, what a very nice fictional looking whale with fish. I'm being serious too. Like, it's amazing. Like, you know I can go on and on and on, but I think I've got my point across, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, going back to what Nick was saying, it is very nice to see these cards kind of portray a coming of age type of scenario, right? We've seen it in past sets. It looks like we're getting a little bit more of it, I'd say, more consistently. Just in this set alone, right? We have the Ralts, Curlia, Gardevoir line, and then obviously you end off with the family. I think it's the women trainer. Let me go. Actually, it's gonna be kind of hard to find.
Yeah, I think
there's
it is
Curlia,
the woman trainer, like her owner
right?
essentially.
So she has a kid, and then there's Curlia, and then you can see like the portraits in the back will change too. And then let's go ahead and find Ralts as well. I don't think I missed it. King Gambit's
No.
also very nice illustrated
Gorgeous
card. So it looks like we're gonna have to go to the next page. Oof, it might be sold out because sometimes Card Rush, they just kind of blank it off when it's gone. But you get the idea. You'll see it in English, or if you've already seen it, you already know. So yeah, I mean, oh, there it is. Yep, so she starts off as, I would say, like a young teenager, and then eventually grows to become an elderly woman, and then by that point, this Ralts has evolved into a Gardevoir, right? So, a lot of people really like that type of storytelling. I do as well. Nick kind of shared it between Mabostiff and Arvin. We see it in the Ralts line. I think we saw it as we saw a connection of cards between the Spidops, if I can find it, the Spidops, and then I believe it's called Tarantula, if I'm correct. Still learning the Gen 9 names.
Right there, the middle.
The middle.
Oh, no, that's
Yeah, right here, Tarantula, right? And then the side there, so you put 1 on 2 and bottom. And it's not new per se, but just the continuation of having these type of art styles is very cool. A lot of people really appreciate it, and we're seeing quite a bit of it within this first set. So who knows? We're bound to see more, maybe not, but only time can tell, really. And so I think that's really about it for Scarlet Violet, unless you have anything else to say, really.
No, that's it. Just hoping that we keep this trend. We usually don't this trend of really nice artwork or connecting artwork. We really don't get that with the first set. They like to just test the waters with the first set released for just for any new generation. But I think they've had the high confidence when it came from what's it called, Crown Zenith and Crown Zenith and of course V-Star Universe. And some of the previous sets before when we were doing these trainer cards, these gallery cards. But I'm just hoping they keep that confidence and they just make each set that comes out after after Scarlet and Violet base set, they just make each and every set after better than the last.
Yeah, I mean, only time will tell. So these are the prices right now as of January 30th. So whether you look back on this video or you're looking tomorrow and see if there's a drastic change, which there probably won't be. This is just kind of what this is. I guess you could call it a historical documentation of the cards. Before we move on towards the English Scarlet and Violet, it's also important to note how, the price does play into what I'm going to talk about, but just the over amount of buying, just in general, of sealed product in Japan, these boxes are usually supposed to retail for $40 to $50, and you look online and you have people having them marked up to 100, 120, especially Violet, right? Violet has the top 3 cards of the set, monetary speaking, and not to say Scarlet doesn't have any, but it's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, you're quite literally tripling the price of what is supposed to be. But I don't really think there's much you can do besides print. But as fast as Pokemon moves, this might just be the new norm that we're seeking in with. and even with Japanese, I mean, it's kind of surprising in a sense. You saw it with V-Star Universe, but that's almost expected because it's a special set. But even Scarlet Violet base set being that much is, it's only time will tell, as I like to say. So as it will go. And so going to the English, it's not as much to talk about compared to the Japanese, obviously, because it hasn't released yet. I don't even know when this set comes out. I think it's in March. I think.
Yeah, I think it is March, since it feels like we're like on bi-week. I remember I cracked the joke of bi-weekly sets, like tri-weekly sets, and Matt was like, "We're not far off from that," which is very true. What is it, March? Yeah, late March.
Late March.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, did you want to say anything before I go ahead and dive on in?
Oh no, you're all good to go. We've said plenty, and then there's just, like I said, we've had plenty with our expectations. Hopefully, well, low expectations, but just hoping that everything gets better from here on out with just pricing and then just the quality of all the cards we'll be getting.
Dive on in. Okay, so pretty much with Scarlet Violet, we are seeing a price increase in cards, which can be seen as a big deal. It can be blown out of proportion. I mean, you can see it however you want, really. No one's here to tell you to think otherwise. But no matter what you think, the prices are increasing, I believe, on all Pokemon TCG products in English, which is a little surprising to me. So we're looking at a Pokemon Center ETB, which usually go for 50, and now we're at 60. But in exchange, as we're going to see here, we have 11 booster packs compared to the 10 in the older ones. And then whether it's new in Scarlet Violet, they're going to do. Well, it's not technically new, but we are getting more of these illustrated cards that are ETB exclusive, if you will. Very, very nice. Koraidon, and I'll show the Miraidon here in a little bit, but everyone kind of knows the ETB contents, dividers, the new poison burn plays, the sleeves, the new energy cards, which have the silver border like all the English cards do now, EX, the die, and the player guide, and then now 11 packs, at least with the Pokemon Center one. I'm sure the normal one will have just either 9 or 10. But those also are 50, I believe. I think they still are price increased. So yeah, I mean, it's a little shocking, honestly, but I guess you're kind of getting more, and I think in the packs in general, we're getting minimum 3 holos, I believe that's what they said.
Jesus Christ, I can't
Right?
Yeah, 7 regulars, and then your 7 regular common cards, and then your 3 holos.
Yeah, so I mean, it's quite literally a new era for the Pokemon TCG as it is for the games, right? So I guess they kind of just want to go all out with this generation, which I can respect. As shown, the Koraidon, this is the Miraidon Pokemon Center card. If you buy the Pokemon Center version, you get the one with the stamp, but I believe all ETBs at least come with one promo card, which is very nice. I'm glad they didn't kind of lock it in just for the Pokemon Center for the promo. But yeah, I mean, just kind of looking at this here, booster boxes, 161 compared to their 143 price. So we've got a definite increase on that. I think these got a 30-cent raise. Last time I saw sealed blisters was when they were at 420. So I may be out of the game, but these definitely got an increase. Same with, well, this is technically not a new product. We've seen it in some of our newer sets. But I think they're trying to push these out a little bit more just because, it's a nice medium between a single pack and then an ETB or a booster box, right? So we're seeing some of these a little bit more being pushed out, and 6 for 26. That's pretty funny. But I mean, who knows, right? I guess it depends on how well the set hits are in general to kind of monetarily look at it like that. But
you're really only saving like 10 cents. I think it's like 10 cents if you just just say the 27 divided by your 6. It feels like it's about the same price, but you're just getting like maybe a little bit less if you find them like at retail. You have to pay for your shipping or none of that, but maybe save a little bit. But Just depends if you don't want to just only open one pack, or open your 3-pack blister. Maybe comparing the price of 3-pack blisters to your booster bundle. Maybe you might save a little bit more, but it just depends on what you're feeling like opening. I'm just glad to see like there's a little more variety when it comes to amount of cards you can open, or amount of like variety of product out there.
Alright, bye.
Yeah, I mean, this puts you about 450 a pack, which is this technically. So I guess it's, if you just want to crack open 6 packs within one product, then there you go, right? But it's kind of interesting, to see all these new prices, and whether you buy straight from the Pokemon Center or if you buy from, your local comic shop or your local card store, to see sometimes if they have a little bit of a decreased price compared to some of our older ETBs. I mean, this was years ago, but the way I always remembered it was boxes would be market value of 143, but you would also get people selling them for like 100 min. If you're lucky, you could find them for 90 min, but 100 is kind of the nice resting place, 100 to 120. So we'll probably see an increase on even those, simply because you don't want to lose money when you're selling these boxes. But it's only a matter of time, really, to see. I know some stores have kind of put it up. I think I've seen 140, 130. I don't remember exactly where they come from. But even with those decreases in price, you are still paying more. But obviously, you're getting a little bit more in your packs now. So very interesting all around. I think that was it for the sealed stuff. Yeah, pretty much.
No, yeah, I don't think we're just waiting and seeing. I don't think probably just get a couple more like 3-pack blisters. I don't know if our next topic. I don't know if our next topic actually is gonna come with Scarlet Violet. It might not, but just seeing whatever else product comes out. I don't think that this lineup right here is gonna be the only product we ever get for Scarlet and Violet.
No, definitely not. So when he mentioned the 3-pack blisters, it's not on the website, but I believe we did lose the coin. I think we did lose the coin on those.
And that's a loss I'll definitely take. That's fine with me.
So,
for a person that doesn't play the game, don't mind it one bit.
Yeah, so we've lost the coin on that one, and there will be more products. Obviously, we'll have thematic products. I know we have Cyclizar EX, I think.
Oh, yes.
That got shoved into a promo. Same with the Mimikyu EX. I think that also got shoved into a promo here. So these packs will also come in those as well. Probably not the whole box, but usually they put 2 minimum. So we'll see only through time. And yeah. So next, it's kind of just a product roundup. We've kind of gone through most of the, like actual set stuff, at least for now. But what we do have next is the Clara Cyrus. I hope this pulls it up. Yes, yep. Tournament collection box, right? So we'll just click on her for now, because I'm pretty sure she's the one that's going to be bought the most. Yeah, it's kind of like your standard. We had the first one, which was Marnie, I believe. And then from there, it was Professor's Research, which was themed after Professor Juniper. And now we have Clara and Cyrus. Yeah, so you can kind of see a little bit of a description here, what you're getting, right? So you get one full art of each, or one full art of what character you chose. Then you get the 3 foil cards, sleeves, deck box, coin markers, die, and then 7 packs, and then obviously a code as well. So it's a little interesting. I don't know if Clara is really good in terms of the actual TCG. I really can't say I've heard much of anything. Right, she was last printed in Chilling Reign, and then Cyrus is just Boss's Orders, so it's kind of like the same as the Juniper box, just themed after Cyrus, which is honestly kind of nice, because on a character standpoint, this will be Cyrus's first full art card compared to all the other leaders. I want to say every leader has a full art besides him. So it's very cool to have him get some spotlight here. But I mean, yeah, these aren't 50. I think they were supposed to retail for 40, and that's what I remember the Juniper box was at. And I mean, really, that's it. The only thing I can really think of in terms of speaking is that we are getting a full art right. The boss's order is in V Star Universe, but the question is the Clara going to be the full art from Chilling Reign, or is it going to be a new promo card? I think it's probably just going to be the Chilling Reign one. It'd be a little surprising because we didn't see much of anything if she's getting a new full art card. But I'm open to be surprised by it. And yes, that's really about it.
Yeah, no, don't think there's anything more to go on top of or to talk about for that. Not too sure, but it's just talking about that topic. Nothing else.
Yeah, so we'll see the Cyrus one before we leave off here. So he's got his Honchkrow and Gyarados. I actually don't even remember if he had a Gyarados, but that's probably what the sleeve will look like. And then the Clara one we did see as well. So there's not much of any information on the next one. I really don't care to kind of like look into it, honestly. But it was kind of rumored that we're getting a 151. I don't want to say deck box.
It's its own full. The 151 is its own full set, basically on about. We'll just reprint it. I guess they're just doing every single like the main 151 Pokemon is printed out. Oh, it is starter deck set coming in, and then EX. Okay, yeah. So starter deck and its own set. So we're gonna get everyone from Venusaur to Mewtwo. We're gonna get every single one either printed out as its own card in a nice style. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure guaranteed it's every Pokemon's gonna get its regular standard card, maybe in a nice styled way, but to where you can tell a good difference between I'm pretty sure Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise are all gonna get a nice EX, a nice like EX alternate art, and then. Just because obviously, I don't think they would do like an oddish alternate art. They would just do the main nice Pokemon like Lapras, Coughing, or Lapras Wheezing. They could probably like do a little tie-in for like Team Rocket, like just in the background, something like that. Because like how we've had Jesse James in the TCG, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Mewtwo. Those are definitely gonna be ones that are expensive as well. I would feel like for this set, and. What a thing is really cool is that how it shows that we're getting an Alakazam and a Wigglytuff one, and since it's 151, that also means we're going to be getting, which is a really big shocker to me, we're going to be getting a Kadabra card in this new set, which is really, really, really cool because the last time we had Kadabra was literally, I think, the Team Rocket set back then, and with the little lore behind that one is that Kadabra was based off of this one magician. I think I think he might have been here from the U.S. Not too sure, but Uri Geller. He's always notoriously known for being able to bend spoons with his mind, and they decided to make Kadabra. Kadabra and Alakazam have the spoons. They decided to make Uri Geller as a little spoof as a Pokemon, and I think I had the name pulled up to where he was it's called Yungerer, Yungerer, which in Japanese they pronounce R's as L's and vice versa. And he had saw that there was a card in essentially based off of him or lended inspiration, and he took it as an offense that his name was getting tarnished, or he was just found that it was very offensive, the card, to him. He didn't want to be portrayed as like an evil being, so he filed suit against Nintendo and told them, Nintendo and not really Nintendo, but the Pokemon Company, and told him that he does not want that. He will file suits if that card ever gets printed out again, or any future Kadabra card. So they stopped, and then at first this was teased. We weren't sure. This was just rumored, like around this time that this post that Matt's showing, and then later on, days later, I think it was like pretty recently, he Yuri Geller himself tweeted a video of him talking about how a 151 set will show the return of Kadabra, and we still hadn't got an announcement, and it seems like it just it seems like he just confirmed it before the Pokemon Company could even step their foot in the ring and just actually say it themselves. But it's going to be a very interesting set. I think for me personally, I'm going to want to try and get a Kadabra card, but I just know it's going to be expensive due to the history that Pokemon has with the Pokemon Company and the entire TCG in general. But we'll see, and I think it'll be an interesting set just to see all the art, but I'm not really going to pursue most likely any card other than that one.
Yeah, so this article is only made possible through PokeGuardian, and thank you for providing the article as we're going to go down here. PokeGuardian has a lot of Pokemon news, which we kind of get from. So always give them a click. They're always keeping up on top of the game. So I'm not going to read too much of this. Just kind of wanted to see what might have changed, right? So none of this is confirmed, as you can tell. But the idea is that it's a 151 set, and it looks like we have some more specifics here. And I'm trying to read it, and I don't want to stop talking, but I'm going to try and space out my words. Okay.
No, I just don't see too much here. Oh, it just looks really interesting that this is 165 cards plus 22 plus God knows how many. So we could see I'm pretty sure we'll most likely see like some trainer cards as well. It would be cool. I think it would be cool. It's like we just saw like protagonists, red, blue, green, Giovanni card, gym leader cards would be really cool. Yeah, it would just be really cool to just see cards like that put into this set and not just have it be Pokemon and then like Youngster Joey is a card and then that's just like that, just actual more like prominent cards that anyone could see and be like, oh yes, like oh okay, God, like great flashback, like drawback to the original set, and that we're also getting little sets of boxes and stuff like that. What was I seeing here? Oh yeah, just those are the products I think that'll be coming out throughout the time, especially for this set. A lot of them coming out on my birthday, I think. But that's actually really interesting that we're doing a booster box for this set, including only 20 packs and 5,800 yen. I think it was about like 100 and something. 5,800 yen. Whoa, I was way off. I think 9,800. No, for 44, which isn't bad at all for 20 packs. And no, it was just a really interesting set. Pass it on to Matt, see how he feels about. I've heard his feeling about the original, just back like just the previous like 151 and all that, but just see how he feels about this set like possibly being a thing.
Yeah, so if this is like actually like legitimate, I think on a like I guess nostalgia based level, it's kind of cool to finally have the first 151 Pokemon that kind of came out in that first generation. As Nick was saying about whatever that guy's name was that took such a major offense to a Pokemon. I think historically that could be cool, but realistically, I don't really see too much of an appeal from the first generation. I'm just trying to make sure I don't fit in, and by that, this is probably. It says this is all rumor, right? So it's not 100%, but at the very least, we're seeing maybe 165. So if we are getting that 151, it could be 151, maybe some extras. It could be 151s with trainer cards that just make up the remaining. And if this is all Kanto, this is quite literally the easiest set I will ever pass up on. I will never look back on it, like the Pokemon Go set. But hate me all you want if you're a Gen 1er. But I think I guess it's kind of cool. So I will pay some respects to the origins of Pokemon. But you know how it's gonna be in English once it gets over here. People are, the people are gonna like lose their minds. They're gonna want every single Charizard that comes out and whatnot, starters, and so, good on them. They're always getting fed, but good on them, I guess, right? But yeah, I think that's it for me. I'm really just starting to pop off now, but
Use it, but we'll be good. It'll be good. But yeah, I could say I'm same thing. I'm there with Matt. I mean, sure. I'm pretty sure the first Pokemon game I might have played was Pokemon Red. It was my brother's copy, and then funnily enough, I proceeded to lose it in our old sofa, and I never played it since. But it was still most likely one of the first Pokemon games I played, and I still don't. The only attachment I have to the original 151, or just to that generation of Pokemon, is a TV show. Just because I used to watch it a lot on my on our VHS tapes, but that's about it. No attachment to the Pokemon or the games themselves. So like the same thing for me. Definitely is a set that I wouldn't even blink twice at. Other than just the Kadabra card would be really cool, but like if it's gonna be super expensive, which I am willing to call it, I would not be surprised because I don't know if we're gonna get this set in English. No, it's rumored if we're even gonna get it in Japanese in the first place, but if we get it in Japanese, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be expensive, and if it is, I'm not even gonna hesitate to be like, oh, it's cool to see that it's a thing. Would be cool to have it, but I will not try to navigate through any other means to just own a card of it.
yeah, I mean personally, if it's like an actual set in Japanese, I can see the Kadabra it'll probably be more expensive than the rest of the uncommons, if anything, but I don't think it'll be like a heavy hitter if it's like an uncommon card. But we can only see from here, and yeah, we've kind of covered why Kadabra was locked away and now why it's free. We've covered the rumored set in general. I personally believe this set would come out in English as the year's special. Actually, maybe not. If they're feeling risky, end of the year special set, because technically we would have two special sets if this did come out this year with Crown Zenith. If not, if this does happen, and if they end up bringing it to the U.S., then it will probably just be merged in with other sets, like they kind of did with VMAX Climax and the past 2022 year of Pokemon TCG.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And yeah, I mean that's really about it. I mean I covered the Mimikyu box and whatever, the Cyclizar EX box, and the Mimikyu there. Just like briefly, right? This is from PokeBeach's Twitter, another great Pokemon TCG journalist website blog, same as PokeGuardian. So if you ever see them, feel free to give them a click. They're always amazing in providing news, right? So we got Greavyard and Mimikyu EX, and then we don't have the official design, but we do have a Cyclizar EX box coming in May, and obviously this will probably be the promo.
Yeah, don't think it's all the product we have for now. So it's just we'll definitely see new product. It's definitely starting as of maybe this week's, since it'll like halfway through this week will be the beginning of February, or into the next week, and we'll just see how the new Crown Zenith product will be, or hey, maybe some Japanese news as well.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. That's what I keep saying, and I keep remembering myself saying it, but that's really what it comes down to. I mean, there's not much, right? Little portfolios that we usually get. And yeah, I mean... okay, hold on.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Hold on.
Yes. So, we're, the second Japanese set, which what we think would be the Dondozo, and I forget what ruin what ruin Pokemon it is, but that one's getting pushed a little bit back as well. I think they said I'm not even looking at the screen. I think I'm just off my head. I think they said it's because of a Crown Zenith. How they're just Crown Zenith trying to get out as much as possible, and Japan doesn't want to inflict on that. Let me see what it says on there. Yeah, I was right. They don't want they don't want to inflict just clashing releases. They want everything to get as much airtime as possible, which is really cool. I
Yeah.
won't really feel as much as like it won't feel like like bi-weekly release, like bi-monthly releases. Now it'll just feel like tri-monthly releases, and then maybe who knows? Maybe this is the only one that got pushed back, and then everything else is like on schedule. So we could see like this set coming out that 1 month, and then like instead of like 3 months later, or like maybe like 2 months later, we just see the other one back, and just
Back on for it.
the TCG is just back to how it was before. But we'll see. Only time will tell.
Should've got top.
Like how I keep saying for this one is for this podcast is just only time will tell. It's just a wait and see game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. Even with this being moved back, if you're gonna like continuously keeping up with these sets, whether you just buy a box or you're ripping like a lot, it's a lot. Like it's a lot to like put your time and invest in. Not like with money. Well, obviously you're putting money into it, but like if you're looking at it on like I'm going to open it viewpoint, it's a lot. Like it really, really is. Zenith in January. Scarlet Violet 1 in late March, mind you. And then apparently Scarlet Violet 2 in June. Whether it's early June or late June, it's still, it's still a lot because, I mean, unless you're opening tons and tons of packs and then just getting every single card like straight up like that, if you're going for other things, you're just going to have to get singles. And that in itself takes time for the market to drop and see if it goes up or down depending on when you want to finally take that bite and snap and buy a card that you're looking at. So, I mean, and the 151 as well. Like if you're trying to collect Japanese and English, God save your soul. That's a lot. I give you the utmost respect because it takes a lot to keep up with both English and Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Hurry up.
Yeah.
I think that's. Oh, go ahead. Pause.
Yeah, no, I think that's about it. We kind of covered everything. Did you have any lasting remarks?
Oh my god.
No, not the no, nothing really. It's just I hope. No, I really don't think there's anything. It's just waiting and waiting and seeing how Crown Zenith plays out these upcoming months. Any curveballs thrown by the Japanese side of things with the new sets. Maybe somehow after all, it was a ploy and the 151 set never comes out. But with just some stuff, it looks like seems like a lot of stuff's been put out to where it feels like it might not, or it'll actually happen. And then we'll just see how that comes out, see that product list of it, and see how available it will be. Well, if it'll be as available as Scarlet Violet in Japan, or will it be as hard to find as Beastar Universe?
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of run down everything if you skip toward the end. We covered Crown Zenith versus V-Star Universe post-release for both sets, although English is just a little bit of time has passed, not like 2 months worth. We kind of compared some of the prices there. We looked at the prices on the new Scarlet Violet set, which came out in Japan, and some of our thoughts on the market value on those cards, and just a look on how these cards are turning into with these newer sets. And then we looked at English, Scarlet Violet, which has yet to release, but the most noticeable price increase on all sealed product throughout the market. And then we went to some of the other products that were just kind of, that can kind of be combined into one another. So the Clara Cyrus tournament deck boxes, and then the upcoming Mimikyu EX and Cyclizar EX box for Scarlet and Violet whenever those come out. And then obviously we covered the 151. If it does come out, some of our own perceptions based on it, and just kind of looking at why it is valuable for the sake of having Kadabra back in the sets. So yeah, I mean, I believe that is everything. As always, if you have stayed with us to the end, we very much appreciate it, right? I think we did a little bit better compared to the first stream where it's just one still image. Not to say that that image isn't funny, but it's still on the screen, or at least I hope it still is. But hopefully this second episode or first episode was better to watch and even just listen through. I know I was quiet in the very first one, so hopefully we've kind of fixed our end on that. As always, the feedback is always welcome to this channel in terms of video and speech. And I think I'm going to say my say here. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please, if you have made it to the end, like I said, let us know your perspective on any single topic we covered. If you've picked up anything, sealed, singles, doesn't matter. Have what you need to say. Speak your truth. And just put it out there. We're always welcome to see what you guys have to say. We won't bite at you. So that is my share of this, my farewell for now. So this is Matthew signing off.
And for my final remarks, like how Matt said, just feedback's always appreciated. Do let us know how everything is, and we'll try to get back at it, improve. And if there's nothing to improve, then we'll just keep doing the same thing we do. And hopefully that hopefully just to another episode, and then hopefully we get a lot more good news for the future. And we'll just really appreciate y'all sticking throughout this whole thing. This will be Nick just saying my farewell, and then I just hope you have a good one.
See ya!